Hi, my name's Romi Grossberg, and today I'm going to talk to you about writing therapy. So what exactly is writing therapy? Well, really, it's just another form of expression that uses writing, uses the written word. So why would we then use writing therapy? What's it good for? And the last probably two decades or so, writing therapy has become more and more popular, and I personally think it's fantastic. I'm a counsellor also, and I use writing therapy in a lot of my one-on-one sessions and also in my group workshops and courses. There's a lot of different reasons why we would use writing therapy. One of the great things that it does is it helps declutter the mind. So if you've got a really busy mind and you find that your head is kind of like this, cluttered, full of chaos, when you write something down, what it does is it takes all of this chaos and all of these random thoughts and it filters them all through down into the pen or pencil. Personally, I prefer writing, as in pen and paper writing, to computer. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking the chaos, we're funneling it down, and we're using the hand, and we're actually writing it. What this does is it brings each topic one at a time. Because when it's up here, it's chaos, and it's half thoughts and half sentences, and none of them are getting completed. When you actually write something down, you can't write half sentences and half thoughts. You will finish each sentence, you will finish each thought before you move to the next one. So all of a sudden, once you've completed doing this, you have all of this chaos, and now it's organized. You have written on this topic, on that topic separately. You've completed your sentences, you've completed your thoughts, which usually means you've kind of formed some kind of conclusion for yourself. Okay, so writing forces you to finish your sentences. Simple example, if I ask somebody or I ask a client when I'm counseling, how was your day? Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, it was all right. That's not really a full sentence. If I said, you know what, don't tell me how your day is, write it down. You'll find that you'll start writing and you'll get more and more involved in what it is that you're writing, and you will finish each sentence. And you'll actually be able to see for yourself, was my day good, bad, indifferent? What did I do? What did I learn? How did it go? What do I want now? Where am I going with it? So all of a sudden you start actually reaching a lot of your own conclusions about very simple things. So that's one thing that writing therapy does, is it brings the chaos, funnels it down into one by one thoughts, and finishes your sentences. You can also use this kind of thing before you're entering a new space. So say you've been at work all day and you're about to go home to the children. Maybe you've been working with the kids all day and you need to go to a meeting. Whenever you need to change your environment, it's a good idea to just spend 2 or 3 minutes writing down what I call white noise. Writing down all the extra thoughts that are in your mind that don't actually need to be there, that are keeping you and preventing you from being focused at the task at hand. So you write all of those random thoughts like, oh my God, I'm going to be late and I haven't had enough coffee today, and did I remember to pick up the dry cleaning? Whatever it is, all of the sort of extra thoughts, just put them all on paper. You can even just scrunch it up and throw it away. You're just getting rid of the excess noise in your head so that you can be clear, focused, and in the moment. So you can use writing therapy for that also. One thing that writing therapy does without you even meaning to actively do something, but by the mere act of writing, when you are writing, you are creating forward momentum, because obviously you don't write backwards or upside down. You write in whatever language it is, that's your forward momentum. So what you're doing is you're actually moving forward through something. So if you're feeling stuck or stagnant or confused, or you feel like you're going in a circle, when you write something, whether it's intentional or not, you are creating forward momentum, and you find that you are moving toward the destination that you're trying to get to. So there's another fantastic thing that writing therapy does just because it does, and you don't actually have to do anything with it. Another way you can address writing therapy is with free flow writing, which is really just tapping into your subconscious. You'll see a lot of books talk about this kind of thing, and everyone's trying to get into this free flow state of journaling, and it can be difficult if you are a busy-minded person. A couple tricks you can do is, if you're an active person or you have excess energy, go for a run first. If you're more of a calm person, go and meditate first. Do something that gets rid of the excess mind or the excess physical energy. If you are an active running kind of person, don't try and meditate first. Go for a run and then meditate. Work to your strengths. So once you've gotten rid of the excess energy, whether it's a physical excess energy or a mental excess energy, then try and get into that meditative state and free flow write, which really just means is that you don't stop. You get your pen, you get your paper, and you keep going. You keep going through all of the doubts, the fears, the what am I doing, and write them. What am I doing? I don't know if I'm getting anywhere yet. What's happening? Oh, is this right? I don't know. Write through all of that, because you will end up coming back to something. So the idea is to not think. Free flow writing is all about not thinking, just allowing yourself to tap into the subconscious space. So when you journal, a lot of people like to do that for journaling. If you are not a journaler, not someone that writes in a journal or diary, or you have fears around it, or a lot of people say to me, I don't know what to say, I don't know where to begin. Here are 4 questions that you can ask yourself to just help yourself tap into the art of journaling and the act of writing. So the first question that you can ask yourself is, what was the highlight of my day? Okay? And the second question is, what was the low light of my day? This just helps create balance, particularly if you are not a very balanced person and you either focus on one or the other. It helps create balance. So we're looking at the highlight of the day. It helps keep things positive. And we're looking at the low light. Is there anything that you need to learn from that to change? Okay, so the highlight of the day, the low light of the day. The third question is, what did I learn today? This is a really key question. Every single day we learn things, whether we learn something at work or at study, whether we learn something about ourselves and our behavior, whether we learn something about someone else and their behavior. But every single day we learn something. So what did I learn today? Which ties into the fourth question, which is, what am I going to do about it? So you're bringing your awareness back to your learnings, and then we're looking at, what am I going to do about it? Otherwise, we're learning, and we're not creating any change, and we just keep going on the same path. So what am I going to do about it is a really important question. So they're the 4 key questions you can ask yourself if you want to get back into journaling. When you're looking at what am I going to do about it, you can also have a look at my video that I made on integration, and that will help teach you how to actually integrate it into your lifestyle. How do you actually do that and learn that process? Another couple of things that writing therapy does, it's fantastic for arguments. If you find that you keep getting in an argument about the same topic or with a particular person, how do we actually get to the bottom of arguments? So writing therapy is a fantastic way of getting to the bottom of arguments. There are 2 different ways you can address this. One is that you can look at the argument and you can write the argument from your point of view, then write the argument from their point of view, from the other person, as if you are them. Not what you think they should or shouldn't have done, but if you were that person, how would they write about the argument? What kind of day did they have before they led up to the argument? What headspace are they in? What mental space are they in? What was their background? What's their upbringing? Try and really get into the mode of the other person and see where it is that they're coming from. And that will really help, if nothing else, create a whole lot of empathy for their situation. And you may decide who's right or who's wrong, but it doesn't really matter. You will understand the situation better and feel less need to actually argue your point. So the other way you can use writing therapy to address arguments is to write down your version of events of what the argument is about. And we'll use for an example, maybe your partner or your friend is always running late and you are waiting for them and feeling frustrated. And by the end, you're kind of just pissed off and it ends in an argument because you feel that you were waiting and they were off busy doing something else. So you would write down the scenario of whatever it is, and then you would ask yourself the questions, or you would just write down and then, and fill them in. Or you could write why, sort of like that annoying child syndrome of why. So maybe you write, I was waiting for them and I'm annoyed because this is the 10th time they've done it and I've had enough. And then I got frustrated because I felt that they were not valuing my time. And you keep going and trying to work out what actually is it that really pissed me off. What am I upset about? What am I angry about? Usually, more often than not, it will come down to value systems. So there'll be a value of yours that you uphold very, very strongly. And you'll feel that they didn't kind of match on your values, or that they've pushed a boundary, and maybe you hold your boundaries quite strong. So whether it's values of time management, whether it's a value of honesty or trust, or you'll feel that something has happened that's kind of broken that value. So that's usually what comes down to the bottom, and you can then work with that. You can work through it, and you can hold a discussion and realize what it was actually about. Okay, because often when we have arguments, they get a bit big and out of control, and it's not often actually what the problem is. So it's worth getting to the bottom of it. And the last couple things I'm going to say on writing therapy is letter writing. I use letter writing for all sorts of reasons, and it's a fantastic form of writing therapy, of letting go and manifestation. So there are two different types of letter writing you can do. You can write a letter to manifest something into your life, so it's more of a positive, this is what I want, crave, need from life. And you put it into words, because then you digest it and you work out what it is that you actually want and why. And the second one is we do a lot of letting go, and I run lots of ceremonies here that involve writing therapy for the sole purpose of letting go. So if you need to let go to an old story, a person, an emotion, then writing a letter is the absolute best way to go about it. If you are angry at somebody and you need to let go of that emotion, it's a safe way of doing it. Rather than yelling at them, you're not writing a letter to them. You are in your mind, but you're not actually giving it to them. So you are writing a letter to let go of that emotion, that thing. You can write a letter to your heart. You know, I often have people who write letters to what I call the cocoon around your heart, the protective mechanism. So we write the letter to the cocoon, saying thank you so much for all the years of protecting me. But actually, it's time for me to open my heart a bit more and feel free. So I'm asking you to back off it and, you know, let me be open to love again. So you can write a letter to the cocoon of your heart, or to your heart. You can write a letter to the weight of your body if you're trying to shed some weight. Thank them for the service that they've done and ask them to kindly let you be now. So you can write letters to all sorts of people. If you've had a bully in your life, issues with a parent or an old friend, a teacher, whomever it is, in a safe way, you can write a letter, and you can swear and carry on and go nuts, but get it all off your chest. Get it off your chest. You should, at the end of your letter, go, I feel better. Realize that you're letting it go. And the only thing you need to remember is at the end of your letter, once you feel that you've genuinely got everything off your chest, you write what you choose. You make a choice. I choose now to let you go. I choose now to move forward. I choose to let love in. Whatever it is that you're choosing, you make a very conscious decision. And with that letter, you go and make yourself a little fireplace, or get matches or a lighter or candles or whatever it is, and you burn it. And you burn it with your own ceremony, your own prayer, whatever it is that suits your personality, knowing that this is the last time you need to deal with that. So, there are lots of different parts of writing therapy that are amazing, and I am truly passionate about using writing therapy as a form of self-inquiry, self-expression, letting go, understanding yourself, moving forward. It does so many things. So hopefully you learned something about writing therapy today that you didn't know before, or maybe it just confirmed some things that you thought about it. I hope you really enjoyed it. I do have a book also using writing therapy called The 5-Minute Guide to Emotional Intelligence, which is on Amazon and Kobo and on my website, which uses a whole lot of prompts to help you through writing therapy and self-inquiry. So I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any questions or comments, I'd really love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoy your writing therapy journey. Thank you very much.